Hi everyone and welcome to the 3.07 quiz for U.S. History Part B. To get to your 3.07 quiz, go to the left navigation bar, blue navigation bar, and click on the Unit 3 tab. It will extend and provide you with a number of options underneath. Click 3.07 quiz and this screen will pop up. Click on Begin Quiz and several reminders will show up for you. Please be sure to read these carefully. When you start your quiz, make sure to remember to click Save Answers as you go through the quiz. When you get to the end, Submit for grading. Make sure you click that button so that it will arrive safely to me in the grade book. When you've completed your quiz, always make sure to check your grade book and make sure that a grade is showing for it. In this quiz, we are looking at a total of 16 questions worth 1 point each. In this video, I will be reading the questions and the answer options to help you with your quiz. Number 1, which is not true of Franklin Roosevelt's early life? He came from a wealthy family. He attended elite private schools. He earned degrees from Harvard and Columbia. He was known for his serious attitude and deep thinking. Number 2, what themes for government action emerged during FDR's first 100 days as president? The business of America is business. The government should not intervene. Heavy regulation of the banking industry, a laissez-faire approach to other businesses. The relief of individuals, economic recovery, and reforms to avoid future economic disaster, or less emphasis on a market economy and move to a command economy. Number 3, why did Roosevelt move so quickly at the beginning of his first term to propose legislation to establish new agencies and programs? He wanted a strong record in order to be reelected. He hoped to motivate business to support his campaign. He wanted people to forget Herbert Hoover as quickly as possible, or he believed the government had a moral obligation to help families survive. Number 4, use the word bank to match each piece of legislation from the first 100 days with its intended goal. Answer the question by entering the correct letter in the blank space provided. Which act reopened banks and led to the creation of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, otherwise known as the FDIC for short? Was it the Homeowners Loan Corporation, Civilian Conservation Corps, National Industrial Recovery Act, Emergency Banking Act, Tennessee Valley Authority, or the Agricultural Adjustment Act? Number 5, use the word bank to match each piece of legislation from the first 100 days with its intended goal. Answer each question by entering the correct letter in the blank space provided. Which program put young men to work planting trees, fighting fires, and improving parks? Was that the Homeowners Loan Corporation, Civilian Conservation Corps, National Industrial Recovery Act, Emergency Banking Act, the Tennessee Valley Authority, or F, the Agricultural Adjustment Act? Which act subsidized farmers who took land out of production in order to raise crop prices? A, Homeowners Loan Corporation, B, Civilian Conservation Corps, C, National Industrial Recovery Act, D, Emergency Banking Act, E, the Tennessee Valley Authority, or F, Agricultural Adjustment Act? Which program provided electricity to rural areas in 7 states? A, the Homeowners Loan Corporation, B, Civilian Conservation Corps, C, National Industrial Recovery Act, Emergency Banking Act for D, Tennessee Valley Authority for E, and F, the Agricultural Adjustment Act. Number 8, which agency helped struggling homeowners restructure their mortgages? The Homeowners Loan Corporation, the Civilian Conservation Corps, the National Industrial Recovery Act, the Emergency Banking Act, the Tennessee Valley Authority, or the Agricultural Adjustment Act? Remember, when you are answering these questions, you are putting the correct letter in the space provided. You don't have to put a period after it, just the capital letter. Number 9, which act intended to help regulate industry and trade? A. Homeowners Loan Corporation. B. Civilian Conservation Corps. C. National Industrial Recovery Act. D. Emergency Banking Act. E. Tennessee Valley Authority. Or F. Agricultural Adjustment Act. Number 10, which was not a technique used by FDR to maintain political and public support for early New Deal programs? He held twice weekly press conferences for reporters. He delivered fireside chats on the radio. He built a political coalition including immigrants, women, youth, and African Americans. He established a citizen advisory council to represent people from all walks of life. Number 11, which group correctly describes the New Deal opponents and their arguments? The first group, Group A, which consisted of Charles Coughlin, the U.S. Senator who wanted to redistribute wealth from rich to poor; Huey Long, a physician who wanted all Americans to retire at age 60, opening up jobs for younger people; and Francis Townsend, Catholic priest who believed Roosevelt was an ally of communist Jews and capitalists. Or was it Group B, Charles Coughlin, Catholic priest who believed Roosevelt was an ally of communist Jews and capitalists; Huey Long, U.S. Senator who wanted to redistribute wealth from rich to poor; and Francis Townsend, a physician who wanted all Americans to retire at age 60, opening up jobs for younger people? So which group correctly has the person match with the description of what they did as opponents to Roosevelt? What was the administration's response to opponents' criticism? FDR gave more fireside chats to gain public support. FDR fought back with more legislation in the Second New Deal. The administration eliminated some costly programs. Congress passed sedition legislation. Number 13, which legislation passed during the Second New Deal became the New Deal's most popular and long-lasting program? The Social Security Act, the Wagner Act, the Public Works Administration, or the Works Progress Administration? Number 14, which kind of organizations grew because the New Deal legislation that supported and protected them? Labor unions, church organizations, conservation groups, or teachers' associations? Which is a common historical view of the New Deal? President Roosevelt failed to understand the needs of the common people during the crisis. Reforms would have occurred under any president because the situation was so dire. The New Deal was a revolution similar to what happened in several European nations. Or President Roosevelt was unable to end the Great Depression through his programs. Which was not an effect of the New Deal programs on American life? Unemployment dropped significantly, government power grew, public works projects had a national impact, the economy rebounded to 1928 levels. Number 16 is your last question on the quiz. Please make sure to save your answers and then also click Submit for grading so that it comes to me successfully in the grade book. Good luck on your quiz. If you have any questions, please contact me.